How are you doing, everyone? I'm going to talk about that music for just a little bit so that if it gets muted, it's not going to cut into the gameplay any. You just heard Christopher Cross with Sailing. I like Christopher Cross a lot. He made some inoffensive yacht rock, like you just heard, over the course of the 70s and 80s. Probably Sailing is his best known track. There's also like Walking in Avalon and the one that he did for Arthur. I can come up with that name real quick. Is it just called Arthur? It might just be called Arthur. Yes, it is just called Arthur from the film Arthur starring uh, Roger Moore. Not Roger Moore. He was a he was a James Bond. Starring Dudley Moore. There it is, the British comedian Dudley Moore. Um, it's called Arthur because it was made for the film Arthur, but then the subtitle was The Moon in New York City, which is, I think, what they used for the album. Anyway, that was a lot of information. I guess we're just killing time, so it doesn't matter. But I like it. It's good. Sailing's one of my favorite songs. I actually like playing it under other clips of stuff. I don't know why. It just brings joy to me and to my heart. That's probably enough time. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those who do not feel represented by an oppressive gender binary, hello and welcome. It is me, Kristie, here on Monday, doing some Sunless Guys, doing some more Sunless Guys. I'm glad you all enjoyed the good joke I did. Let's just jump right into the line. Hey? Let's just hit the buttons. They're good buttons, Bront. I can probably close a couple of windows. There we go. That's good. The Fail Better logo will be up it'll just be along any second, friends. Just any old time. No? Not gonna do the thing? Hang on. No, it's getting there. It's just manifested a window. It's forming itself into a hideous maw. I've got mouse. There we go. I should start that process earlier. So, Sunless Skies. Hi Mox, hi Xenon, hi Andy, hi everyone else in the chat. Thank you for joining me. We're just gonna jump right into this line. So, true to what I said, last week, last Monday, I played a little bit off stream, just so I could get some money and to kind of plan out what our, what's going to be happening this week, and I figured it out. So I have two main goals. The first is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. No. So the very first thing is we have a quest we can turn in. And let me bring up our journal tab so we can have a look at that. Assumed identity. So if you'll remember, the amenable host who runs Magdalene's House of Small Comforts sent us out to go look for evidence for who he might have been in a previous life. And we have found no conclusive evidence at Lustrum, New Winchester, or Port Prosper, the three big leads he might have hatted? Jesus Christ, me. So, we're going to turn in that quest, and while we're on that tip, I've taken a commerce request where we are going to deliver 5 barrels of unseasoned hours to the... Oh no, don't abandon that. Jesus, don't abandon that. We're going to deliver 5 barrels of hours to the ringmaster at Polyneer and Plenty's Unconceivable Circus at the Reach. The Inconceivable Circus lies to the east-northeast of New Winchester. So let's bring up our chart. Here's New Winchester. There's north, there's northeast, so north-northeast is somewhere over here, which means it's more than likely in this pocket of darkness here, or maybe here. So, our current plan of attack is to start here in New Winchester, where we are. We're going to go up to Magdalen's, turn in that quest, see how the amenable host responds to that, and then go to Port Prosper, where they sell hours. We don't need many, we have some already. But we'll buy a couple of there, however many we need, and then move down here to this area and try and see if we can't find the circus. We're going to the circus. That's good, right? Nothing bad ever happens at circuses. I should probably buy another set of... Nope, not that. Of fuel. I like it. We search for a circus in the dark place. A recipe for joy and good times. Yeah. Nothing's ever gone wrong this way, not even once. So, I've turned in all of our, you're just straight on the way, huh? Yeah. Cutting around here isn't what I want to do. We'll just go this way. So I've turned in all of the port reports we had, so we're not going to stop by the Victory Hall on our way. What I've found out is that it's actually quite easy to make money if you're, like, really boning down on it. We just got there. Where are we at right now, as a matter of fact? 984 sovereigns still? That's after last week's buying of, like, a drill mechanism for the front of our train and a new engine. I just turned in some cash quests and got us here. Which is good. As much as I like the... There's another Marauder, huh? Yep. As much as I like the moment-to-moment gameplay of just sailing across the sky, getting to a location, I don't want that to be entirely what the stream is, right? I want there to be adventure and excitement. Like now, us fighting this Reach Marauder. There we go. Good. Give me your bones. We can loot the hold. Oh, we don't even have to roll for it. We can just loot the hold, or strip the engine for materials. A clasped a jewelry box. Just got some money. Good. That way we don't have to worry about, things. Money? Yeah, it's fine. So how are y'all doing? I've had a good day myself. I've been off of work, so I went down to the convenience store and bought the kind of energy drink that costs $1 because it's 80% sugar, and got a lot done, as it turns out. We have lost 3 fucking crew members trying to go through yawning tears in the hull, so we are just going to strip this other ship for the very small amount of repair that we need. Uh-oh. Well, there was a Marauder waiting for us. They set themselves a honey trap. And he's doing better. You expected to be I'm gonna take that again, excuse me. Andy's doing better. You expected to be exhausted after streaming, but you feel energized, which usually means you're finally over whatever bug you had. Good. I'm happy for you. We just ran into that motherfucker a lot, basically. Hi, Riz. Let's go for some unusual items. Or raid the safe because I misclicked. Got another 25 bucks? Fuck it. Fuck it, whatever, fuck it. I'm also, Riz is saying, I'm glad you're doing swell, Andy. I'm also glad you're over whatever horror you've maintained. Getting sick right now sucks, because it's not like regular illnesses have stopped happening, but the back of your mind is always on one, you know? I don't think I want to get much more detailed than that currently, because this is a fun, take your mind off it stream. But there's, like, it's a little scary every time you start coughing or have a bad BM. Would not recommend 1 out of 5 stars. That's my experience with pretty much everything in this day and age. Ah, I'm just fucking this up, huh? This time, let's for real raid the captain's cabin. We got some salon-stewed gossip. So, I've said this before, I'm not going to reread over stuff that I've read already, especially with, like, doing battles with the Marauders and stuff. There's a lot of repeated, like, there's not a lot of new dialogue there. It's going to be the same thing over and over, so I'm just going to acknowledge what we got and move along. I'm fucking this up, huh? Proceeds to ruin that Marauder's whole career. Listen, you're not wrong, but both of these things are true. Because I am at half hull, and I would like to be at more hull than that. Do we want to treat our terrors? I don't think we do. Let's write a port report. First and foremost. And let's speak to the amenable host. The amenable host reclines on a couch of crushed velvet and a goblet of wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. Right, there's a huge clock here at Magdalen's. That's why there's a ticking in my right ear. Fuck. I thought I was hallucinating that a little bit. And here's where we turn in our quest. What will you tell the amenable host? You have pursued his memories enough to have an answer for him. The amenable host closes his hands around his returned locket. Now it comes to it... No, I'm sorry, I forgot your voice. Give me just a moment. There it is. The amenable host closes his hands around his returned locket. Now it comes to it, I'm not so sure I want to know, but I've sent you out. He drums his fingers against his cup. We don't spare a guest the truth, so why should I be any different? He fills goblets for you both. Well then, out with it. So. We have a lot of options here. I am going to be asking your opinions for what we should click. We can confirm his identity on Lustrum. Perhaps this is who he ought to be. He was shot dead on the mountain of Lustrum and survived. You'll remember we went to Lustrum and someone told us that someone matching the picture in the locket got shot for getting a lot of money out of the mine and not sharing it around. We can confirm his identity on New Winchester. You found some fragments that might form a history. A strike-breaking factory owner, now reformed. Yeah, that's that story. Confirm his identity on Port Prosper. You found little evidence, but perhaps enough. He continued the work of the Parlor of Virtue on Port Prosper. On Port Prosper, we found a house that was in his paintings, which ended up being an old cat house. We can tell the truth. There was nothing conclusive to find. He might not have been any of these. Or we can tell the truth. You found nothing conclusive, so which would he prefer to have been? I like that there's these two different angles on saying that we didn't find anything. I think it's very good. I legit thought that said parkour of virtue and was imagining a cool youth pastor doing sweet kickflips. Well, thanks. Now I have a new YouTube search after I'm done here. Does anyone have any... Ooh. Does anyone have any thoughts about what these should be? Because we can click one, and there's not takesies backsies once we hit the button. I'm just gonna give y'all a second to catch up, process your thoughts. I still have half of that energy drink. I'm having the other half right now here at the start of the stream. I'm gonna switch over to water and wine after the break, I think. But for right now, I'm getting goosed. Nobody appears to have opinions. There we go. I think I like the Lustrum version because it seems hardcore. The neighbors tried to keep barbecuing in the rain and it smells like a lighter fluid in here. You're not wrong. Also, hi Katie. It's been rough. I do like that he survived having been shot on a mountain. It is very hardcore, and I do like it. Let's go with that, then. From Lustrum. Apparently not entirely dead, I suppose. Rogue that I was, I made contingencies. He looks around at his sumptuous atrium. I appear to have better choice and friends now. Should I go back? Settle old debts in the best way possible, a display of ludicrous success over my enemies, still toiling away in their meaningless lives. He smiles at the thought, his eyes alighting on the mountain of lustrum hung on his wall. He goes to a drawer and takes out a sealed envelope. For all your trouble. Assumed identity, you have told the amenable host he once owned a house in Lustrum, and you've gained 250 sovereigns. Wonderful. Now we have a new offer in here. We can go backstage. You are known by the host. You are permitted to socialize with the attendants and observe behind-the-scenes life at Magdalene's. I don't think this does anything for us mechanically, but I am going to click it right now just because I think it's really neat. There are always jealous glares when someone parts the violet curtain that keeps the attendants' private space from their work. Backstage, relaxed chatter and the scratchy sounds of music over the gramophone fill the air. Clouds of powdered makeup and tobacco wash over you, mixed with lavender perfume. Help an attendant prepare for work. There are lines to rehearse, briefs to digest, and accents to perfect. Popping that mic still. I'm trying to find a... Turn down the volume on the output a little bit. Okay. On the input. Well, no, it's not that it's peaking, it's that I can tell that me hitting a P is really murdering it. I've moved my, I moved it more away from my face than usual. Up at the side. Right. I'm gonna give this a shot. P. Pleasance. Pomeranian. Okay. We'll see how it goes. The face powder the attendant is using is cloying. He flexes his shoulders, cracking each knuckle in his hands. The pay was worse than the parlor, but the work was easier. I don't know how many more long-lost sons have got in me. A mourner wanders past, clad in outdated black silk. She is recreating her husband's funeral today. She is smiling. Fun. We can back off from this. So that's that. Can we just treat our... No, we don't need to treat our nightmares. Nope. Go back to G, please. Thank you. Treat our terror. Which is still pretty high. Let's request a treatment for guilt. So last time we saw a former crewman. Who else do we have? We can talk to someone in our past. We can talk to a very boring individual indeed, or someone who once meant a very great deal. Because our last level up was Lost Love, where we found that the bat that we had been dating on the Sunless Sea has gone to another place. I think that this is a good option for us. The room is as you left it that last time. They are stood, cigar in hand, facing the window where you left them. The smoke has stained the glass thunder gray. They turn as you shut the door. Is that a list in their hand? They have been waiting some time for this. War briefly without terror. Wonderful. Oh, I forgot to check the bazaar. You're not selling anything you don't normally sell. Alright, let's go. We are now moving off to our next location. No, we're not. We're gonna kill this dreadnought. Oh, okay. I shouldn't have done this. This is a bad idea, actually. I forgot I was at half hull. Forgot I was at half hull is the thing. I'm actually just gonna hit and run and let the tackies take care of most of the thing. I'll just get in some hits where I can. Try and help out the cause, and then swing in and loot the thing once they lose interest. Thank you, stick and move, just like Doc taught me. Okay, good. We got there. Circle counterclockwise, you'll be invincible. Is the bazaar the Echo Bazaar, but in space? Well, it's not space, it's heaven. I feel like there's a subtle difference. And I suppose the answer is yes, echoes aren't the preferred currency anymore. It's sovereigns, because London has a much greater hold on what goes on, and so their money actually means dick here, as it did, like it didn't in Sunless Seas. But there's a bazaar at every port that sells some stuff. Thank you, Andy. We can raid the hold, or we can rummage in the kitchens. We could actually use another supplies. Let's see if we can't get some supplies. Ooh, we got a lot of supplies. Your chef is delighted at the abundance of food still intact in the kitchens. He shouts something about a cornucopia before he disappears into the pantry again. Sweet biscuits, tea cakes, herbs from Trader's Wood, and succulent fungus from Hybris, good British tea, and a few measures of whiskey are unearthed from the vast larders of the Dreadnought. You have bought your crew a few nights of restful sleep on full bellies. Wonderful. Now we're just gonna leave. We got a nameplate too, so the next time we go to Lustrum. Hi, Alma. Glad to see you. We are on our way to Port Prosper. We just blew up a dreadnought, so the next time we go to Lustrum, we'll have a charred nameplate to turn in for money. Because let's not forget, we are a mercenary working for settlers' rights here in the Reach. And this good? This good? Can I get repaired at Port Prosper? Is that a thing I'm capable of doing? I'm not gonna attack you on my own. Don't fucking look at me, boy. Also, are the dreadnoughts built from the dread? That's a good question, and one I don't think I know the answer to. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. There's not a glass shark in the pool. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is just a straight shot. Oh, we can actually get over here, and maybe we can get some hull off of this shattered ship. Yes, we can. The wreck gleams with frost. Its windows dark. Its engine silent. We're gonna strip it for repairs. You've gained 10 hull. That is not enough hull, but it's a lot of hull. I love that bit. Which, the glass shark bit? Is that a thing you're saying sarcastically? I'm going to quit being what I'm being right now. Being on his back. Puppy got snack. Oh shit. I'm gonna start on dinner in a sec, I think. Oh, that's good. Thank you very much. Stir fry does sound very good. We've received an injury. Grim news. Your last battle resulted in a number of injuries among your crew. Your medical bay is crowded, and the prognoses aren't good. We can tend to the wounded ourselves if we didn't have a 27% chance of success, which I'll remind you is a 63% chance of failure, 73. Math. Hope for the best. It's in the hands of the gods now. Some crew offer up prayers. Or we could just plunder the supplies. We just got a whole bunch of supplies, so that's just fantastic timing. The doctor plunders your supplies. Swaddled in bandages, carefully disinfected, and coaxed with medicinal, in thick quotes, brandy, the injured crew begin to recover. Death has passed you by today. He kindly stopped for me, and then I just, kind of left his ass at the roadside. And here we are in beautiful Port Prosper. Or at the very least, existent Port Prosper. Depends on how you feel about steampunk and capitalism. Now I know why Pac-Man ate those ghosts. They've stolen Twitch chat. Hi, Bad Road. I'm glad to see other people are having the same fucking problems I have had, because I can't goddamn deal with Twitch chat right now. It's a fuck house. The only reason I'm able to, type in chat at all is because the view in OBS works. Nope, that's the station. We can go to the bazaar. The bazaar is selling chorister nectar for cheap, which would have been nice a little while ago. How many barrels of hours do we need? I think 5? Let's have a look at the hold. 5 barrels of hours, so we need 2 more. Let's amp ourselves up with fuel and supplies. We've got plenty of money. Can we sell anything? No. No, we have crockery, but we can't sell trade goods. Just as a matter of course here. We'd have to take them to New Winchester. I hit buy already? No, I did not. I hit selling instead, and it got rid of the things I was doing. Okay, that's fine. Is everything we needed? We'll have 5 hours, we'll have 3 supplies, we'll have 3 fuel. Yes. Perfect, that takes us to maximum cargo. But that's fine, we're about to lose 5. That's fine. And let's go to the stories. Let's explore Port Prosper again really quick and write a port report. We've read that one already. And let's go about the Albion Transit Leeway, visit the Windward Company. We don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to go to the Parsimonious Chairman's offices. He's the guy that runs the Windward Company here. Let's recruit someone. So, which of these do you think we want on our train? I've played through a lot of this game, like I've said before. So I know both of these characters, and neither of them are... We're not going to regret bringing either of them on board. So, do we want to recruit an incautious driver? I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. Or do we want to recruit the incognito princess? Perched atop a mountain of luggage is a radiant young woman. I still say a barrel of unseasoned hour sounds like something your elf would want in return for giving you your heart's desire. You're not wrong, and there's a reason it sounds like that. I'm going to go into it. We might reveal more of it as we go. The game likes to parse stuff out, but there's an event that happens that once we've triggered that, I'm just gonna, like, stop and talk about some of the connecting tissue of this world. I'm seeing a lot for Incognito Princess, so let's go ahead and hit that button. Perched atop a mountain of luggage is a radiant young woman. She's an officer dressed in what an actor would wear in a fantastical romance. A tiara rests on her brow. A steady stream of commoners comes to pay homage, bowing and courtesying enthusiastically. Starlings circle in dense swarms above her, refugees from old London, and a common sight, although not in such numbers. She ignores everything and hands you papers so pristine they can only be forged. Officers require a sign-on fee. I was going to say driver sounds more useful, but the princess could be exciting. So, mechanically, most of the officers are about even. Each one, let me read this blue text to you. This will get you a first officer who will increase your mirrors by 6, your hearts by 2, and your affiliation bohem by 1. So most of our officers are going to do something like this. They'll increase one stat by a large amount, another stat by a small amount, and an affiliation by 1. She is literally attracting birds like a Disney princess. Yeah! She is another first officer, and she would replace... I'm sorry, I'm going to rephrase that. She wouldn't replace our current first officer. Both of them would be on our ship at the same time. And we could choose between one or the other, which is sometimes useful if, again, you need slightly more mirrors than you need iron, or whatever. So having a lot of options is good. Let's go ahead and just jam on you. Welcome aboard, Your Majesty. I am a humble first officer looking for... Oh, what's the word? When commoners do things for coins? She asks. Work, that's it. She beams at you, delighted, and as innocent as a Gatling gun. As she steps aboard, a commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and... Hi! I forgot to do the CW again, hello. This is a cosmic horror game. Most of the combat is ship to ship and not very intense, but there are some descriptions of horrible things. Things that are bad to listen to. I just almost stepped on one of those landmines. There's a bad thing right here, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to read all of them, but I'm going to be more diligent about reading in front of me before I go. And then, giving a bit of a shout-out for, hey, we're about to read a hideous thing. A lot of bad shit happens around the Incognito Princess, which is a thing I should have remembered and didn't. I'm very sorry. I'm about to read the bad thing. I'm going to start the paragraph again. I am a humble first officer looking for... Oh, what's the word? When commoners do things for coins, she asks. Work, that's it. She beams at you, delighted, as innocent as a Gatling gun. As she steps aboard, a commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and scoops out his eyes. After such radiance, all else is tawdry, he says, between screams. It seems she has already forgotten about her signing on money. You know, I'd sign on with some smugglers too if random folks did that around me all the time. Yeah, it's rough out here. It's rough being a princess, as it happens. Actually, we have a bunch of money and we're about to make some more. Let's just go ahead and recruit both. Recruit the incautious driver. I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. The driver indicates a crashed engine still smoking. Like that, only without the screaming. I'll allow the driver to join your crew. This will get you a chief engineer, who will increase your iron by 6, your hearts by 2, and your affiliation establishment by 1. Sure. We have a new chief engineer. Welcome on board. Brave or fearless? The driver boards, eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, they explained. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Oh well, live and learn. And that's that. Yeah, only one crash a week I think is fine. Listen, they're a very rich company. They can get away with that. They have the money for the repairs. This is just, tawdry bullshit, to be honest with you. So, we have all of the trade goods we need. Let's look at our chart again. So this is the kind of strip we're interested in investigating. It's probably around here, the circus. We're going to come back with it. We just hired Launchpad McQuack. I disagree. Launchpad McQuack was deeply incompetent. The incautious driver is just does not really care whether they live or die in terms of testing out things. There's ways in which that is admirable, and there are ways in which that is deeply dangerous. I want to play Sunless Seas sometime. I recommend Sunless Seas. It's very good. Yes, thank you. We hired Hal Jordan. Green Lantern Hal Jordan. That's right? Okay, good. Got a job as a test pilot. Sunless Seas is a good game that I couldn't get into myself, because couldn't get very into, because it's a slower experience than this. The writing is still very good, and the characters are still very on point, but it's just kind of a little worse than this in every way. We're running out of space we haven't been through. Oh, whoops. Did not mean to fire, but that's okay. Coming through here. Doesn't look like a lot. Let's send out our bat friend and see what they have to say. Reported something over here. Well, that's certainly not it, because that's not a port. We've been there before. But maybe it's something we can steal, so let's do that thing. Well, there's marauders, so that's good. Thanks, Bat. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, well, so here's the thing about it. There are 2 marauders here. And we can probably juke them and win this fight. And I'm going to take a shot at that. And if we win this fight, not only do we get all the spoils off of the marauders, but we also can mine this chunk of rock over here, which I think would be very good. I enjoy things that I find in rocks. Oh no, okay, that's fine. A well-aimed shot penetrates your plating. Thanks, Dave. Okay, that's good. Love it. Yes, you're on fire. Ooh. Ship-to-ship combat, eh? 2-on-1. Right, got one of them. So now this is just dancing. Here we go. Got 2 off. Not the first time. And there we go. The Reach Marauder is defeated. Let's absolutely strip this one for materials. And that puts our hull back to almost full. I think we're a little bit off. And let's loot this one's hold. An intriguingly bulging sack. Newly minted coins fall out with a heavy thud from the appended sack. Bright Imperial Sovereigns, I don't know what you're talking about, Andy. Bright Imperial Sovereigns. Her renewed majesty's many faces glare up at you. And now we can dig this thing. Yeah. We got some more hours. That's slightly more than we need, but that's fine. So, it wasn't in here, so I think it's going to be in this negative space here. So let's go for that, and if it turns out we're wrong, we'll go back to New Winchester and reassess. Intriguingly bulging sack was my nickname in college. Yeah. That's a good one. It's a good nickname. Because it's intriguingly bulging is the thing. There's lots of adjectives you could put on, adverbs, I guess? Oh yeah, there it is. Colored searchlights play across the clouds. They cast wild shadows, haloed in pink and green. Nelson's Point. That's a big tower. That's probably nothing. It's probably fine. Here's another injury. We can plunder our supplies for medicine again. We're right near a place where we can get more supplies, so that's fine. Oh good, circus in the dark place, next to the menacing obelisk of unknown origin, right? A new port. Oh, hey, we have another chance to find the stowaway. Your stowaway is causing trouble again. A stoker's stocks are Your stowaway is causing trouble again. A stoker's socks are missing. Cheese has been pilfered from the gallery. Someone has pinned an unflattering drawing of the quartermaster to the engine room door. The crew insist you do something about it, although they do find the drawing of the quartermaster quite funny. Is the obelisk menacing with spikes? Because if so, I think I know its origin. Nah, it's just kind of ruined. Not ruined, but with runes upon. We failed our search because we are bad at mirrors. We may get another chance to catch the stowaway. We'll see what happens. But for now, let's check out Polymere and Plenty's circus. Let's do the first thing real quick. Here's the bazaar. Hours for the circus ringmaster. Wanted, up to 5 barrels of unseasoned hours, delivered to the ringmaster of Polymere and Plenty's. At 155 each. Just made 700. Oh, we can buy bargain bronzewood. That's a nice tongue twister you can do in your day-to-day life. And we're gonna buy some supplies just real quick. Spend some of that money. But let's look at stories. Is there an option where you hire the stowaway? So, we'll get into that when we find them, I guess. A traveling circus has settled here, too afraid to go further and too afraid to turn back. Its clanking, gaudy locomotive scavenges such audiences as it can from nearby homesteads and delivers them for an evening of shabby, desperate, big-top magic. Hey, Mr. Menagerie is passing through Polymere and Plenty's. Let's do that. A tattered poster by the station advertises the services of a Mr. Menagerie, purveyor of fine scouts. An accompanying picture displays a tall, cloaked figure, slightly stooped, clutching an array of adorable little beasts close to its long chests. Listen to a story of things past. Mr. Menagerie is keen to tell you a tale from its collection, but requires payment first. Charity is a crime, and the punishment is severe. Unfortunately, we can't buy any of these other things. We need, some stuff that we don't have. Oh, we only need another Savage Secret for us to get a new bat. A new, slightly better bat. It requires a mirror of 25 or more to use? I don't think we have that. We can't get it right now anyway. We'd need another one of these, but I know where to get these. We'll have a look out. Since we can't grab anything, I do want to hear a story. The magical Mr. Menagerie. change customs. Mr. Menagerie gestures to the spindle of rock that anchors the circus like a stone weighing down an escaping balloon. Once we gathered here, we held our bargains and boasted of our chiefs. Our bands displayed the finest of goods, our magnanimity was sharp as knives. All knew our worth. Then the light came. They made of our ground sport a dancing place, a laughing place. They made bargains of their own. And now you do the same, it rasps in tones of mild reproach. Aw. Listen, it's not my fault I was born into this system. I'm just trying my best. Mr. Menagerie nods his head. We are moving elsewhere soon, but we will leave a note saying where we have gone. We will have more things to show and stories to tell. It turns away, humming an eerie tune to itself as it gathers up its things for the next leg of the journey. That is a note saying where Mr. Menagerie has gone next. Let's first go to the circus. We'll write a report. Yeah, oh, I should have read the first thing. The greatest show! That's what the adverts promise. The reality is not impressive. Aside from the big top that dominates the circus, the place is shabby, poorly maintained, and even more poorly attended. Bored-looking circus folk run rotting booths. The clowns' painted-on smiles are no match for the deep-set misery behind the grease paint. Even the calliope music, playing on a rundown piano, is more grimly resolute than cheery. Write a work report. The big top looms dramatically in the fog of the reach, but it's not nearly as imposing as the massive obelisk floating nearby. Some enterprising soul has hung bunting between it and the big top. As for the circus itself, outside of the performers, it is practically deserted. You may be the first new face in the audience in quite a while. Do we want to get a ticket to the circus? Let's get a ticket to the circus. The urchin hands over your tickets with no apparent enthusiasm. Thanks, he mutters. You now have 5 tickets to the circus. The surface also. The circus is on the surface. I mean, it's on the surface of this rock. It's still in the heavens, which is, not above land. I don't think it's above land. I think it's its own thing. It's weird. We're not really going to discuss it. Let's enter the big top. The pride of the circus, whatever that counts for here. No one in the meager audience displays any enthusiasm, not even when the ringmaster thunders in a one-horse-drawn calliope. Then come the acts themselves. Oh dear. The humiliated magician's trap doors fail to open, leaving his glorious assistant notably unvanished. The bereaved acrobat swings from a single trapeze, the other hangs lonely and unused. The pensive clown's fire-juggling act ends in disaster, and not the humorous kind. The less said about the lion tamer, the better. He should recover. I would kill to see this in person. Yeah, maybe. I've just realized that the ringmaster here over on the left is holding the 8 of bats. That's a really cool card. I want that in real life. Alright, what's in the amusements, then? This should be enjoyable. Oh, that lowered our terror. That's good. At first glance, the circus is in poor shape. A second glance reveals how much worse things are than that. You try the battered mushrooms and realize why they have yet to take off as a beloved snack. Attempting to dispose of the bag, you duck behind a stall and find a pile of them already waiting. Another visitor pokes their head around. Is this where the bags go? She asks, and deposits her own with the rest. The circus staff are coming to recognize your face. That might be fine. And we do have another recruit we can make. That's good. Recruit the amiable vagabond. You find him waiting serenely at Gervais's rest, clay pipe clamped between his teeth. He claims to be an expert in snake wrangling, thimble twisting, and stick swinging. He professes to be a psychologist, mythologist, and escapologist. He boasts he can tell stories that'll haunt you until you die, and play tunes that'll make stones dance, and if all that fails to entice you, he supposes he could turn his hand to signaling. The amiable vagabond couldn't care less for your sovereigns. He wants to swap stories. This will give you the amiable vagabond a signaler. We have an empty signaler slot right now, who will increase your hearts by 4, your veils by 4, and your affiliation Bohemia by 1. We can spend 2 sky stories. We have a bunch. Welcome aboard. When you accept him aboard... I'm sorry, I'm just gonna quickly read through this to make sure there's nothing, but I don't think there is. Yeah. When you accept him aboard, he pulls a grimy bottle of something opaque and unidentifiable from his inner coat pocket and takes a long, celebratory swig. "I hope you're not having second thoughts already," he says, and roars with laughter. He has no luggage to speak of, just the bindle over his shoulder and a fiddle in a battered leather case. Once he has slung both onto his bed, he heads to the gallery and starts performing card tricks and telling ribald jokes at the crew. Most find him charming. Several make their apologies and abscond. Let's, go ahead and welcome you aboard. And I think that's everything we need right now. There's nothing else we can do with the inconceivable circus. So, what's our next play? Let's head back to New Winchester and see if there's any new bizarre stuff we can do. There's a lot of bizarre stuff you can do in Sunless Skies, not gonna lie to you, but there's any more commerce that we can partake in. Can I get another ding over here? Can you give me another ding? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. I thought maybe I could discover another, like, secondary location and pop a little bit of extra EXP, because we're kind of close to a level up, but hey. One ding only, please. Alright. The incognito princess is delighted. I had a doll's house this size. Much prettier, of course. Okay, good. A homestead. Settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization relish the hardships of solitude. They will fiercely defend their small territories, but occasionally welcome company and trade. You sat down behind a pockmarked homestead with a holey roof and cracked windows. Its inhabitants have struggled through a bad year, and will find the next one worse. We can leave swiftly, we can trade them some of our supplies, or we can trade them some munitions. I wish we had any. We can trade 1 supplies for some bronze wood, I think. I mean, we're about to head back to, we have plenty of money, and we're about to head back to New Winchester, so let's get a bronze wood. We can either sell it, or we can, find a bizarre thing that we're doing. Only 1 ding only, please. Just 1 ding per customer, please. Ooh, hey. More stuff to scavenge. Some more fuel. Good. And we're about to be on our last supplies, but that's fine because we're in the home stretch. It's completely okay. No, don't worry about it. I know I have little food left, and soon hunger will begin to bite, but we're right here. We're right here. You don't need to worry about it. Right here at good old New Winchester. The Chester that chests twice. It's gonna slide into... Here we go. The company's retreat. New Winchester is in uproar. Crowds of boisterous Tacketies stamp through the streets in their hobnail boots. In Kissagar Gardens, they are burning piles of top hats. The Windward Company, whose fortunes have suffered recently, has abandoned the ports. Ousted. They must have been preparing the evacuation for some time. Company House was emptied almost overnight. The Tacketies have the upper hand in the Reach now, and the company has withdrawn much of its strength to fortify its holdings at Port Prosper. If you want to deal with the stovepipes, you'll need to seek them there. This change in the balance of power will affect encounters, discoveries, bargains, and prospects in the Reach. For example, the Tacketies' redoubled spirit means you will encounter more homesteads while exploring. So this is what the balance of power thing that's kind of been in the background has been doing for us. We're going to start seeing a lot more like Tackety scouts around and fewer dreadnoughts, but once we get closer to Port Prosper, we will be seeing a lot more dreadnoughts because they're all over there now. And hopefully we haven't pissed them off enough that they'll want to attack us on sight. Because that's a shame when that happens, and I don't like it. Wolseley Station. We can explore the city. This fastidious inspector has been trying to get our attention, like, for the last fucking 6 times we've been here. So let's continue to ignore him and check out what those are. Okay, the stovepipes war efforts, don't want to do that. Literature for Traders Wood. The Somerset students camped in the dark woods require fresh material for their continued studies, entertainment, and occasionally roughage. They've requested 5 consignments of ministry-approved literature. Traders Wood lies to the southwest of New Winchester. Do we have anywhere that sells ministry-appointed literature? I don't think so. There was one place that was selling it as like a yeah, there was a place that was selling it as like a specialty thing, but that is surely well and done, that offer. So we can't really take that. I actually don't think there's anywhere in the Reach that sells it, even in the places we haven't gone to. But we have just gotten directions to a new place, so we might as well check out Traders Wood. They're in the southwest. Where does that kind of point us to? Northeast, southwest. So around here, behind Port Avon? That would make sense. Yeah. Okay, so we'll gas up here and see if there's anything we want to buy with our millions. Then we'll stop by Port Avon, and then head deeper in here to try and find the Traders Wood. That'll give us a little time.